stays on the inside.
This has to be through here.
Yes, so if they're on, so actually, see, it's easy. It's easier to be more creative. Okay, we're going to start with the outside one. Okay, we're gonna the outside one. We're going to put a loop.
Oh, guy, right? In here, or what do I do with
Yes,
these two?
you're trying to catch the purple one. Let's keep the
Yeah.
purple one on the bottom. We'll catch it on the
Purple.
Leave the purple on the. Let's see what falls naturally.
But while I'm doing that, I'm supposed to be hiding this
Yeah,
thing.
right.
Okay, I didn't do
Using
that part.
one. Let's put this.
I think I did
on
mine.
top.
I think you're, this is kind of early.
I think I
Okay, and then just pay attention to keeping
Pay
that thing
attention
in.
to keep that in.
All right.
Okay. And forget the little green
Okay.
one because we'll get it on the
So-
way. Figure this out first. Okay, so take your inside one.
Okay. And we're taking the inside one.
So we're making it a little stripey there?
Which is our second color.
I guess that's going to work. Leave it. Which is your second color. It feels different. Okay. The inside one. You put a loop. Big loop over. Same way we did before.
Over. Oops.
Big enough that you can get your fingers in here.
You have to see where you're.
Okay.
Okay, so. Come on, fingers. Right? Up through there? No, I didn't.
I'm
What am
going
I
to
doing wrong?
It looks like you're making it more complicated.
Do I want it
than
under?
is.
I want it under on top. I want it on top.
Okay, here's another really simple way to think about it. If you hold this just like that, find your end, and put it underneath.
Okay, this is not right.
That
And
looks so
pull.
simple.
Try that.
Okay.
Okay, hear it?
I sure will.
Yeah. Okay, let me watch
That's
you
only
through.
my second one,
Okay.
right?
And don't go beyond. I want you all to be really, really slow until we get this down. Yep, and slide it all the way. Yep, get that little purple in there. Purple. Okay. Good. And pull it. Last buttonhole to your first buttonhole. See, let's
Have
find
our
that
tenants have
one.
one, so they can turn it down and then turn it up when they're headed up. For a four-stair system.
Let me
We're a little
open it up.
primitive out
Okay,
here. It's
so
kinda
here's the
hard.
last one.
We
So
were.
I'm going to bring my needle
I
down.
just put up, ring security, and I'm having trouble with them.
And I'm going to go up through my
Got plenty
first
of download, don't
buttonhole.
have so much upload.
Okay.
Then if you're going to want to count it, I don't know if you want it to be exactly
The
perfect
thing
or
is,
you
when
can
start
eyeball
counting
it
the
and go,
maintenance that they
okay,
do,
that looks like halfway.
As long
That
as
looks
they're
like about the
checking
halfway
that
mark.
That's the
Yeah.
halfway mark.
Yep.
I'm going to
Yeah.
find the
Yeah.
buttonhole on the
And
inside that's
so
closest to
huge.
that.
Yeah.
A lot of
You can go through it.
lazy slouches.
See, these are all your buttonholes.
Okay.
There's a lot of
They're
that,
doubles
and
because
then
you got insides
when they
and
do charge me
outsides.
for things,
Okay.
it's relative.
Then I'm going to go through that. Pull.
Fair.
Oh, you want me to do
Okay.
it?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
need to look at. I need a manicure. Look at those fingernails. You need to
Maybe
get further
first,
away.
so-
No, I'm kidding. Okay,
Okay.
Hard
so
to
I'm
explain.
halfway.
Anyway,
That's pretty close. Okay, so what I'm
And I'm
going to
going from the top and then going down from the
what
top
we're
to the
going to do is
bottom.
we're going to go through
Four to
each
four.
one of these. We're going to go probably 4 of them
over to my
individually,
wood storage.
a buttonhole at a time. So I'm going to go to number 2.
So I wrap around and then go
So I
down
can't
through
say
2.
that's
Right, so you're kind of repeating this little
you know.
pattern on the inside till you can get to the spot
And
where
I
you're
have
going to
2
make a
daughters,
spoke.
but
2,
One daughter who's
up.
an executive property manager.
Oh, really?
Loves chucking wood.
there's 3,
Of course, we kind of throw it at each other.
Okay.
it off and then start it again.
Oh, there we go.
you
Okay,
go.
here we go.
Whoa, whoa.
Okay, right.
Video, yo.
Okay.
Go.
I might
Okay.
have to get videos
So
from you guys.
we're putting the spokes together. So we're going to go directly across either through here or through here. This is going to tie all of them together in the middle. Now see, if I wanted it to be off center, I could pull it like this and make it off center, okay? But I don't necessarily, for our first one, want to do that. So once I get to that side, I'm gonna go back to this side. It's like a loop over all of them. And see how that just kind of pulled it all together?
That certainly did.
Okay, now I'm gonna be the spider. The spider comes up through the top, and the spider is gonna go clockwise. Here's his first spoke. He's gonna go just beyond it. Uh-oh. Okay. And let's try not to get tangled up with this right here. Hold on a minute. Okay. Am I tangled? Okay, let's do that again where I'm not going to get tangled. Okay.
Okay.
We're going to go to this one,
So you just go to the next
to
spoke
the next
over.
one, and do a 360 around each spoke.
Spoke.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes. And then go to the next one.
Is that, as I remember?
Top to bottom.
Top to bottom, and then back
around,
up.
and then back up.
Okay, once more of that video.
Okay. Where the groove is, I want that on the inside. Okay, then, no matter how you're starting, whether it's on a wire ring or a wood slice, on the bottom, closest to the wood slice, closest to the wire ring, your pine needles are going to be the longest. You're going to feather them out. So the ones up here are the shortest. And you could cut them also.
I bought some stuff, I just haven't.
I'm trying to keep the shiny parts of the pine needles.
Weird
So
shape.
feather them all so they're all a little different, but these are the longest on the bottom. So when you come back around, and when I'm doing it on a wood slice, if I'm doing it on a wood slice, I kind of look at the holes. And I go, okay, well, when I get to this hole, what if I have 1 or 2 pine needles there? When I get to that hole, what if I have 1 or 2 pine needles? So it's all kind of tapered like that,
Okay.
feathered. So you can cut some. The other thing I like to do is cut off the white part of the sheath end. You see, that's where the sheath was. Let's get rid of that and add an angle. And anybody who's too curly, we get rid of them. That's a little curly, but so cut them all off a little bit at an angle. And we're going to just do a plain stitch, the first row. Okay, so again, I'm going to flip that one over because you see how the rough side's on the outside? I'm going to flip it over. And they will all actually sit more in a bundle if they're pieced together. Okay, so you can use these little holes, these buttonholes, especially if they're really even, which they are, as your gauge. So you can go, let's go every 4th buttonhole, we're going to take a stitch. 1, 2, 3. Let's make that one big so we can see it. Flip over from the back. That's too far. Let's make it 3. That's still too far. I think that's about 3. So we can kind of gauge our pattern that way. Flip it over, count 3. 1, 2, 3, or whatever looks the closest.
So is this like the V-stitch then?
We don't want to hide the wrap. That's why we're just going through, just staying at the top, picking up a couple of the stitches. And I usually kind of try to eyeball it and see how that looks good. I think I'm going about 4 wraps. Staying right on the top. So always going with the needle going back to the front.
Back to the front. And it's coming out, you're picking up a couple and then you're coming out the front.
Right. So I'm staying right on the top.
Okay.
slide this guy in here. Now, had we have been thinking about it, what we would have done is we would have laid this piece down right here and worked it in
Sooner. Yeah,
sooner.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
but we didn't, so we're
Okay,
cheating.
but this is nice. This
We're
is
doing
nice.
the cheat,
Falling out.
and we don't want it up there. We want
No.
it- although if you're doing the next, no, we won't. We'll be switching this. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Who's teaching this class?
Everybody.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll leave a little extra just so, you know, we don't pull too hard and pull it out. Okay, so we've got our 3 wraps around. So this is how I've decided this pattern, really a lot of thought into it. We're gonna keep the sewing needle on the purple, which is now deciding that the sewing needle and the purple is gonna be, every time we get to a stitch, we're gonna wrap 3 times with the dark purple. In between that, we're gonna wrap with the turquoise. So if her spaces are pretty well even, which they are, they're good enough, right? It should work out. So this is how you trade. You wrap the existing one just beyond the one that you want to take out to work. This one lays down. This one goes over. Very seamless. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're going to wrap. So now we're wrapping on top of this. We're wrapping this one that's the leftover violet. We're going to wrap till we get to this stitch.
Wow.
So I'm going to do it since she's videoing, and then
Yeah.
you'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay, and this is, if you hold it really close, you can wrap really quick. Forget about all of that down there. Okay, now we're also shaping. We're using this as our little mold. Okay, so look at where that, and you know what, the stripes in this bowl are perfect because they help you. Okay, so I think I need one more wrap.
And then where'd you pick up the purple then again?
We're gonna pick it up right now.
Okay. and-
Okay, we're gonna pick it up right here. Okay, but because we're trying to shape, okay, so here's the purple. I
Yeah,
wrap
okay.
just beyond. Okay, this guy turns into a pine needle. This guy wraps.
Oops.
3 times.
Yes, but we're right about where we want the stitch. I'd say on the second one, we're going to take the stitch, and since we are shaping, and we want it to come up just a little bit, part of it is how far you wrap till you get there. Like if you wrapped to here, you would have had to pull it up further to get to attach there. So the other part is my index finger is feeling this shape. I'm gonna take the stitch on this edge right here, and I'm gonna take it kind of at an angle. So the back is there. I'm not going straight through. I'm going kind of at an angle towards the front.
Down
Because
and
that's,
towards the front?
yep, because that's going to pull that whole stitch, and on my index finger's holding on there. So we've got one wrap, one stitch. It's a very, very gradual shape. Okay, now we're going to trade off. We're going to try to keep this right up at the top. Okay, so we've wrapped just over it. When we're just over it, we're at right angles to each other. So if you actually make a crease like that, that really helps. And put your fingernail there, and there you go.
It looks like beads almost, doesn't it?
It does. Okay, so you're gonna wrap to your next one. And you can kind of, if you position these so that they're more even,
Before I
and
do it.
before you take that stitch, and I might have even I almost need to pull it back a little. I almost am shaping a little too much. This is a really, really gradual lift. Now, if they're totally even, you'll be able to count your wraps, but they're not going to be totally even, but they're going to be pretty darn close. Okay, I'd say right about there. You're going to switch out. You're gonna wrap
that one
once, and then wrap once, so
Oh,
it'll
so
be
you
wrap, take a stitch, wrap. So it'll be wrap, take a stitch, and then wrap one more, and then you'll switch.
Going from the yellow, because I did my yellow pattern, and now I'm going to switch over to the red.
Okay, so with
So,
the one that we're using goes right over the one we're gonna start using. Does
okay.
that make
so-
sense?
Okay.
Feels like I'm
So I wrap the yellow right over
For that
the red.
red.
The yellow turns into a pine needle.
And then
The
the
red,
red comes over
and
then
wraps
it wraps.
over the yellow.
Okay.
Okay?
Wraps over. Surgeon's knot.
Which means
is the
instead of
double.
just a single, I
have
do a
not
double
gotten-
all at once.
Did you go twice or three?
I did
three
twice.
times?
I went
Oh,
twice.
yes, it's very
That's all?
rough,
Three,
though.
2 times?
Did I
I'm
go
not
3
getting
times?
my-
I mean,
Did I
it's
get
okay.
carried away?
I'm not getting
This is a
good
really
roundness,
particular surgeon.
neatness on
He's
my-
sewing up
Apparently.
patience.
because of my arthritis.
Was that why they call it? They call it something else.
Okay.
I have.
Sorry, you were probably just fine.
One,
2.
You're
Two.
using a bigger. Well, I have.
Yeah.
Okay, now if you're using like a 4-ply, a single knot is good. The thinner is gonna come through.
It looks more like that. It'll be
Okay,
thicker.
I'm gonna cut
Yeah.
that off.
It'll be easier to,
And that's pretty. Isn't that a pretty one?
and that you've got kind of both.
Trying to be quick for the video.
That's
I
okay.
should have been more set up. I could have
Nope.
been quicker.
Oh, here, the art of threading the needle.
Okay, yeah, all right.
I
So,
don't want it this.
No, I struggle with that.
when you
Seriously.
when you start, you always go in where your last stitch went in. This is where her last stitch, you can see that hole right there.
Okay.
We're going right in there, we're coming out. If you pull up the last stitch, you can get underneath it,
Fine ones and I'm using this. Oh,
and kind of underneath it. Okay,
okay, so that's giving you a good.
so then you're gonna, here's the magic knot thing. You're gonna pull very slowly. And a lot of times it will come all the way out, you have to redo it. And it's hidden, boom, now let's cover it, boom. It's the boom effect.
And the boom.
And the boom, you gotta say boom when you do it.
Shaboom.
You have to say boom.
I will remember that.
Okay, now these two are gonna stay underneath here and they're gonna hide. Okay, now we're trying to create a pattern so we want even numbers and we've got all these perfect stitches. So we're gonna use them as our guide. We're gonna go to the 5th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, close enough, right there.
Yeah, because I didn't count them. going in
Okay,
and out.
now
Super
I'm
even.
going to pick up just the top of that stitch. So I'm going beyond the 5th one, well, just the other side of it. I'm just gonna pick up, I'm gonna just pick up that stitch.
That's good. That's good.
Are you sure?
Hide everybody. Okay, now we're gonna do a 2-part stitch. So we're gonna go once in, now we're gonna go back in.
Okay. Finally.
A little bit
that's
below
what I
it,
did
a little
before.
bit below
When
it.
you don't want these off, they fall off.
And,
Like, try
and
and
getting
make it
perfect
twist.
stitches is all about how many years you've been stitching.
No,
And
because
even
I'm
and
screwed,
how
huh?
important it is to you.
It's important.
Now I'm really holding it. Let's have that bowl,
I
and I'll
told my girls
see how I'm holding it with the
I said between my eyes.
a new piece. Probably about from here.
I think so.
This piece right
Yeah.
here. Okay, this piece is going to become a pine needle. This old
Okay,
piece.
okay.
This piece we're going to come in.
Pretty German.
We're going to repeat this stitch right here. We're going to come in right underneath the last
That's
stitch.
like a new one.
That's the new one. If we
Okay.
lift up that old one, we want to kind of get underneath
I've only
it.
been back there once, but.
Yep.
I didn't see a thing. I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, all right.
My
I'll do
fault.
it when you're ready to do it. I'll do it
Okay,
for
I'm
you.
gonna
Okay.
take a thread.
So this is gonna stay
We're
up
just,
there
okay. We're just
and
going to,
hide, and now we're going with this one.
with that one. Sweet. Easy peasy.
Easy
Oh,
peasy. So you're gonna constantly look on the back to see where you are. 1, 2. I can't count each one. I'm just gonna go pretty close to 5. And I'm coming. The needle is a little bit at a right angle.
Cool. Well, you're in a ways though. Okay.
I'm in a
cool.
ways, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Like a quarter of
Right,
the
I
way.
didn't just pick up the stitch this time. I'm gonna actually get in there because since
Should
I'm
I
trying
get in
to
there every time?
get in there every time because
All right.
we're trying to shape. We're trying to pull up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And then go back in there again. And if you lift this up a little, sometimes you can get underneath it better. Like that. Okay, now we're gonna count this as maybe 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. So that's gonna put us right on the other side of that. Pretty close to it.
So do kind of count it. Don't try eyeballing
Kind of
it.
don't go crazy with.
Okay.
Don't go blind
Five
over
and
it.
a half,
Yeah, don't go
7.
blind.
Okay.
Don't
No,
be like me and get the calculator out and divide.
Don't go blind. And so
Eyeball
part of it
that's
is
what ends
we're
up
going a
happening
little
anyway.
deeper in here
Yeah,
to
yeah.
pull that up
Yeah,
and a
yeah.
little higher on
Okay,
that.
all right.
So it's the placement of the stitch and it's also how you're holding that bundle. Lift that up.
Oh, so cute.
Also find what's really close to it, a stitch, which is that stitch right there, and shove it in there, get it through at least a couple coils and come out somewhere where you're not gonna see it.
I think it's
Whoa.
amazing
All right.
how well it holds. Because
It does
of
hold
that.
it
It's
really
not
well.
like embroidery where
Okay, so there's many ways to end, many ways to start.
that's what I did.
Boom. Because we didn't switch out right. This needs to go there. I don't know why I did it that way. There could have been an easier way. Got me mumbling on that video? Good, good, good. Okay. Okay, now we're going to... Wait. Where did you...
Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, right
wait.
there. Okay.
Right there? Is that going to work?
Sure, that works. Yep.
Sorry for the
Nope,
video.
no.
Oh, shoot, can't see what I'm doing. Right there? Is that where we want it?
Yeah, because then it looks like it'll be the extension.
It's
This
of
last
that,
one
right,
comes
right,
off,
right.
and,
Okay, now
and then
let's-
it's big.
Now let's hope we can get, that. Now we have to unthread this. And now we're gonna pray that we can get this back through. Oh, I don't know.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's gotta go back through there.
So whenever you add beads, you're
In
having to
between
go
a
through
row,
them
you gotta go
twice?
through them twice. We're not sure if this one's gonna work.
Oh my gosh.
Let me go up it. Just insert this in here. Let's try to get past this bead to give it a little extra security.
Okay, I'm confused now.
Okay, I'm coming.
Hey, Dad,
Okay, so right to there.
you wrap away.
That will help you
Shape
really,
that.
yes. And actually it should be, I'd like to get really beyond that red bead pretty far. So let's see. Okay, if I start towards the top.
So if I had been thinking ahead of time, I
that-
would have weaved
yeah,
the wire
I
in
should have
there.
thought of that, but I didn't think it was
And is
gonna
that wire
flop.
just like
It's
floral wire?
Yep. Okay, I think I'm pretty far in there. Okay.
Sweet.
Figure 8 is just what it sounds like. It's a figure 8. So, and if you don't like this, you can take it out. We go around 1. I'm gonna scrunch this purple a little bit so they're more even. Okay, and then we go 360 around the top bundle, and then 360 around the purple bundle. So we're going in the middle of each one. I know, suppers. So up around that and into the middle. So it's always around and in the middle. So it's going to make this look like two coils for a while, wrapped with one. Okay, and then you can start putting them together. Yeah, blending them as one. And while you're doing that, you could actually thin some of them out. What I would do in this case is I would take some of these center guys, kind of like when you're tapering off a basket. Area at a
Oh,
at a
your
time.
video. I'm sorry.
Well, no, that's okay. Go
She
ahead.
put the
Okay, and then I take
No,
this
she
and I
did
put it.
that. She put
got-
that
I started to
on there.
melt this.
I got it soft.
Okay, so I started to melt one end, and I'll go get beeswax from upstairs if you don't want to do it here. But I'm taking photographs of these baskets. They really should be beeswaxed. And then I rub.
We're gonna lose the sun in a second, so
I
then they
know.
won't
Oh, yeah.
Both sides. I'm just doing a little bit just to show you. Then I take, and I've never used this on my hair. I'll tell you that. This is only a basket thing. Would not do that. And then hold it right on there and let it melt all the way through. And then that melts.
Just getting a good coating.
Yeah, and you're not going to burn anything. And you want to coat the entire surface, all of it.
Here's where it is from that video. Yeah. Oh my God, that was it.
Is it a different color?